TUCSON was almost born as an N-line. While we were designing the base car, before even thinking about the sporty version, we all noticed that it had naturally become so sporty that we had to calm the game. And while doing this, we already had actually the elements to spice it up for the N-line version. So we only simply made it more stable, improved the stance of the vehicle by playing with the horizontal elements, and also by pushing the elements as far out as possible to really emphasize the stance of the vehicle. The grille became more horizontal, and all the details, while darkening them, also became from a less triangular and more trapezoidal shape. So that all contributed to this more, let's say, muscular perception you have from the car. The first thing you will notice while looking at the side is the integration of all the contrasted parts in body color. With this, we basically put the emphasis on less utility and more sports. We highlighted the lightweight character of the wheel by reducing the amount of diamond cut elements. So you will notice the contrasting elements are much thinner, emphasizing the dark aspect of the wheels to give a bit more of a dominant role to the technical elements of the car, like the brakes. That was important for us. We horizontalized all the elements on the lower part of the bumper, pushing them to the extremes of the side. On the interior, you will see mainly the trim, which has been the red stitching, the darkening of the elements as well, in order the sportier contoured seats. All the elements are basically giving you an atmosphere of what I would call a professional atmosphere. We don't want to be racy. We want to give a feeling of a professional tool, which is precise, which is sharp, which is the perfect companion for the job.
The all-new TUCSON, also the TUCSON L, has plenty of human-oriented technologies. For example, the fully digital cockpit features a 10.25 open cluster without a hood and a large infotainment touchscreen for an intuitive and a high-tech user experience. As the all-new TUCSON, also TUCSON L has the most comprehensive safety package in its class. It features systems like the Highway Driving Assist, which is a system who can automatically adapt the speed for every incoming bends on the highway, while upon exiting from the curve, the speed will come back to the preset level. Another example of feature unique to this segment is the blind spot view monitor, which shows in the supervision cluster the rear side of the car when the driver is activating the turning signal. Those are just two examples, but there are plenty of other safety features who can help the driver in preventing from collision or improving visibility. The TUCSON L features indirect air vents with multi-air mock technologies. This system creates indirect airflow while keeping the overall wind volume stable in the cabin. When it comes to powertrains, the TUCSON L will be available with diesel and gasoline with 48 volts mild hybrid as option, hybrid and plug-in hybrid variant. I would say that next to the 265 PS plug-in hybrid and the 230 PS hybrid version, the 180 PS 1.6 Turbo GDI 48 volts mild hybrid is definitely an highlight too.
In case of new TUCSON, we had the chance to improve ride and handling using the ECS possibilities. Normally we can either improve the handling and give up some ride comfort, or opposite. But with the ECS, we can improve both.
From an engineer's point of view, ECS is a pretty cool tool. You can change the vehicle characteristic with only a few clicks, and you don't have to wait until the guys in the workshop have changed some part. For vehicle stability, we measure the acceleration of the vehicle body in all 6 degrees of freedom. For linear motion like heave, or for rotational motions like roll or pitch motion. And for the N-line, we use the different set of parameters reacting to these vehicle motions quicker and stronger. TUCSON is a family car and you don't want your kids in the back to be shaken on every little obstacle. We had to find a good compromise, and we wanted to maintain the really good ride comfort of the baseline and keep it in our N-line and just spice it up a little bit. For tuning the ECS suspension perfectly, we'll be driving up and down the road again and again till we are really satisfied with the result.
Compared to the base model, the N-line is more firm, has a better body control and roll control. The steering has a little bit higher weight. We increased the steering effort slightly to give a more sporty feeling, more connected feel. And in the sports mode, we focused on a still good ride comfort. The steering in the sports mode is more centered, what we call a V shape. So the steering feels more precise, and then it gives a more agile feeling with more flat effort increase in the off-center. On the motorway we can feel the very precise steering, especially in construction areas. We have the benefits of this precision. With the N-line we have a better roll control, so when you do some lane changes the roll is better controlled, and of course in sports mode even more. On curvy roads in the mountains it really feels nice. The night-weighted steering, the torque build-up, that in normal mode really good corresponds with the lateral acceleration. The preciseness of the steering, the preciseness and the body control of the ECS. When you switch to the sports mode, you can feel an even more centered steering. Especially the on-center is a little steeper in the effort built up, while the off-center is not significant higher. The question always is what makes a sporty steering, and the answer from our point of view is not just make it heavier. The section we will come now is also quite demanding for the suspension overall because it's a really bad road. But the car feels solid and well controlled, and you only have fun to drive.